Hello, my name is Jenny Smothers. This is my dad's shop, Smothers Supercars, and we're going to give you a shop tour. Okay, Wayne, what do you do here and what do you specialize in?
We build street strip performance muscle cars, 62 to 75 range is what we mainly work on. I do nice right blueprinted engines, carburetor tuning, distributor tuning, build transmissions, do suspension rebuilds, set them up for drag racing, do sheet metal paint and body work, a little bit of everything. This is my personal car, 68 Dart GTS. My parents bought it for me in '87 when I was 15 for $1,000. We've got it from the original owner. It's got a 512-inch 400 in it now. Bulldog heads, 12.5 to 1 compression, solid roller, exhaust manifolds, 1050 Dominator built by Thumper Carbs. It's got an M1 single plane intake that we built the cover for, so it looks like a dual plane intake. Car runs 1060s at 127 with a 4-speed, 9-inch tire, weighs 3550 with me in it. Had it since I was 15, like I say. I put about 3,000 miles on it, and it's pretty much all drag strip miles. Next car is a 66 Charger. We're doing a suspension and drivetrain rebuild. It's all going to be all stock, 383 automatic. Engine's almost finished, transmission's finished, suspension's finished. Then we just got to throw the motor in it and get it running. Next is a 70 Buick GS. It's a real 455 car. It's not a real stage 1 car. We're building a stage 1 out of it. It's going to have a stage 1 camshaft in it. This car was parked in 72 or 73, I believe. The interior is all original. It's had one repaint because the paint was kind of flat. It's an awesome car. Really good shape. Original tires and wheels on it from 72 or 3. 64 Lincoln we're doing for a customer. Great guy. We built the engine, built the transmission, new tires, new brakes, new top, fixing some wiring issues with the convertible top right now. That's kicking our butt, but we're working on it. Lots of wiring issues and solenoids in this thing. Next car is a 63 Plymouth Savoy. My dad got this for me when I was 19. He actually built a transmission, a Turbo 350, and traded to the guy for the car, and he gave him the car. So I've had this car since I was 19. I'm 50 right now. I've never driven the car. And my daughter, Jenny, who's filming right now, wants to drag race, so I'm putting the car together for her. So it's got a nice right blueprinted 440 in it, stock stroke, Edelbrock head, small solid flat top cam. Should go mid to low 11s. Be a fun car for her to learn how to do burnouts in and race a little bit. Next is a 57 Ford. Just doing some brakes on it, fixing the windshield wipers, new headliner, new carpet, and it'll be back on the road. Next is this 66 Dodge truck, D100, 3-speed on the column, 318 poly head. New tires, new brakes, new clutch and slave cylinders, new radiator, new battery, electronic ignition, new windshield. It's going to be a driver and the guy's going to leave the outside alone. Next car is the 68 Charger RT. We call it the Project Take a Chance on this hot rod Charger because it's going to run very well. It's got a 505 with trick flow heads, the trick flow 270, so they're max wedge port. 10.5 to 1, solid roller, Indy dual plane intake, air conditioning. It's got a Dakota digital dash. Dana 60 is going in it tomorrow. Going to put a jaw shaft loop in it, frame connectors, roll bar. We finished rebuilding the front end. We're actually going to do a video on this car and show the suspension and what we did to it and how we did it and why. It's got all tubular control arms, heim joint strut rods, so it'll transfer really well. It's got 6-cylinder torsion bars, so it'll transfer well. Really nice car. Over here we got a 70 Barracuda. It was brought to me like this and we're going to finish the car. It's got a brand new motor. I've got to prime it, fire it up, break it in, finish some small little things, some wiring issues. 4-speed car, pistol grip 4-speed, dark green. We're putting the stripes on it. Next we've got a 62 Pontiac Lamont. It's a 4-cylinder. It's got a independent rear suspension. The transmission bolts to the front of the differential. It's a 2-speed. And on the back side of the differential is a torque converter. So it's pretty unique. This guy's going to drive it back and forth to school. He's a teacher. He's had it for a long time, and we're just going to get the car roadworthy. So it's got front end parts we've done to it, brake job, fix all the issues just to make it streetable. Next is a 66 Chevy 2, twin turbo, makes about 700 horsepower at the rear tires on pump gas. We've just freshened the motor, fixed some little issues for him, made some hood braces for the hood, powder coated some parts for him. Car's pretty fun to drive, very nice paint job. It was painted at a different shop. Next, we've got a 65 Mustang GT350 Hertz clone. We did a full suspension and drivetrain upgrade in this thing. It's got the 4-link rear suspension. It's got all new front end stuff that's to make it handle and drive well. Went from an automatic transmission to a 5-speed. We're fixing the heater core in it right now. And this guy drives the wheels off this car. It's gonna be out at the road racing. He goes to the drag strip. He goes on road trips. Very neat car, gets lots of attention. Next, we've got a 68 Dart named King Kong for a guy named Dave. He's got 3 of these 368 Darts. We built the engine for this. It's a 500-inch motor, 12.5:1, solid roller, twin Dominators built by Thumper Carbs. We stretched the front wheel wells. We actually split this wheel well, moved that wheel well forward so we can put a 28-inch tall tire on it so we can get some more suspension travel out of it. We're building an air cleaner for it right now. We put a 9-inch Ford in it. It had an 8 3/4 and the Dana wouldn't fit with the ladder bars, so because it's got big tires. So we put bead locks on it, big tires, 9-inch Ford. We're building a drive shaft loop for it next week, and we're mounting an O2 sensor in it right now, so I can dial the carburetors all the way in. And it'll hit the street. This guy does not own a car hauler. He's gonna drive this car everywhere. It's pretty cool. Next, we got a 62 Chrysler Imperial Crown. It's a 413, automatic, air conditioning. It's loaded, power windows. Very neat car. They only made 1,065 of these cars, I believe, something like that. They have a square steering wheel, which is kind of cool. It allows people to get in and out of the car and have more leg room to get in and out of the car. I just fixed some transmission leaks on it and a antifreeze leak. Did a brake job on it. It's got 4-wheel drums, but we actually arched the brake shoes to match the radius of the drum so it stops well. Next car is this 69 340 Swinger 4-speed car. It's an original Swinger 340. Obviously it had some rust issues, but the main problem was somebody had cut the wheel wells out to put big tires in it. So we're putting full quarters on it, wheel houses. It's already got a trunk pan that we put in it, fixed the floor pan. We're waiting on the passenger side quarter panel to show up from AMD. Hasn't got in yet, but we're ready for it. What else? We're gonna mini tub this thing. It's getting a stroker small block with some trick flow head, solid roller. It'll be a fun little car. It's olive green with a white stripe originally, which is how it's gonna go back. Next is a 68 Super B. This is my forever girlfriend's car. It's yellow now, obviously. It's originally a maroon car with a white stripe, which is how it's going back. Going to put a mild 383 in it, 4-speed. Probably put EFI on it and add air conditioning. It's a non-air car, but we're gonna add air conditioning. It's going to the sandblasters here in about 2 weeks to get blasted and then start the metal work and start doing body and paint. This other car on the rotisserie is a 69.5 A12 Super B clone. It's not a real car, but it's a Cornet. That's a really nice cream puff, solid car. We're gonna paint it. The customer's from Pennsylvania. He already has his engine built, so we're going to paint it, put the top on it, some interior stuff, get it rolling, and then he's gonna finish the car himself. He wanted a really nice street strip car that he could race a lot, and he didn't want to do that to a real A12, so he's building a clone. Over here is a 70 Judge clone. It's original GTO. It's a Judge clone now. We're adding air conditioning to it. It's a 4-speed, 455. We're gonna put vintage air on it. Next car is an Impala, 64 Impala. It's got some carburetor issues I've got to fix, putting new wheels and tires on it, put new bumper brackets on it. The bumpers were sitting kind of crooked. Put new steering wheel on it, fix some wiring issues. Next we have a 66 Barracuda. We're building the engine for this. It's got a 273 2-barrel. We're making it to a 273 4-barrel with a factory 273 4-barrel camshaft, valve covers, air cleaner. We're updating the air conditioning on it. We fixed the front end parts that were messed up. It's all tight now. Here's a 68 Dart GTS clone. Really nice little car. It's a clone, so the guy had us mini tub it. I've got a stroker small block built for it. It's got a 904 with a gear vendor's overdrive. We mini tub this thing, and it's got some rally looking wheels built by Chip Foose. And it's got a pretty good sized tire in the back. We're gonna show you how wide the tire is. Dana 60, so it holds some power. I like building street strip cars, so that's my focus. Nice engines, drivetrains that run like they're supposed to and are reliable. This 70 GTX customer brought to me. He just had an engine built for it and he wasn't happy with how it ran. It's pretty weak. So we're gonna blueprint the motor and probably change the camshaft a little bit and then tune it and make the thing run as good as it can. It had some carburetor issues and he had some paint work done, so the side strap's not on the car right now, but Real nice car. 69 Dart. This is how I got the car basically. We're going to finish the car for the guy. I'm building a 512-inch 400, trick flow head, solid roller, headers, single plane. It'll be a street strip car. Should run mid to low tens pretty easily. The last car we got in the shop today is a 69 Rss Camaro. It's a 396 car with automatic on the column from the factory, which is very rare, very unique apparently. It's pretty cool. This car is nice. I've drove this thing around yesterday after I got finished with it, and it runs and drives fantastic. Handles well. Runs good, shifts good. I got the carburetor tuned, fixed that, curved the distributor, adjusted the valves hot. We fixed the valve cover gasket leak on it. It's an awesome car. And that's all the cars we have in the shop this week. Come back in 2 months and there'll be a whole bunch of different cars in here.